Welcome to the Metal Voice. Today on the show, we're going to rank Ozzy Osbourne, Randy Rhoads era songs with Milwaukee Tom. What's going on, Tom?
Hey, Jimmy. All good. How are things over by you?
Good. I'm very excited. This is my two favorite Ozzy Osbourne albums, Wizard of Oz and Diary of a Madman. We're going to include the B-sides as well. So basically any material Randy Rhoads recorded professionally with Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, you're good with that?
Oh, yeah.
You've seen Ozzy with Randy, what, twice?
3 times.
With Randy 3 times?
Yes.
Wow. That's
First
cool.
time was, I have it written down. The first time was May 20th, 1981. Wow. It was the Blizzard of Oz tour, and Motorhead opened touring on Ace of Spades.
Wow.
So that was, and it was really strange because that was pretty quickly after the album came out, the Blizzard of Oz. Yeah. We didn't know what to expect. How is he going to sound? What's he going to do? Yeah. So it was really interesting. This is before he did any of the shenanigans. That
Humble Ozzy. Humble Ozzy, right?
Those came shortly thereafter.
So the second time.
Yeah, that was in Green Bay, Wisconsin, which was August 24th of 81, so just a few months after, and Def Leppard opened that show, touring on High and Dry.
Wow.
And I was close enough, I saw in the wings, when Leppard was on, they had this big sign that said Green Bay on it.
And for those of you who don't know geography, Green Bay is very close to Milwaukee.
Yeah, it's a couple hours north of Milwaukee, 120 miles, I think, roughly. And Green Bay is known for football, but, some young guys from England don't necessarily have ever heard of Green Bay, Wisconsin.
And the third time?
Ooh, that was the best time. That was, it was January 22nd, 1982 in Milwaukee. Bad snowstorm. I had to drive down. I was still living in my hometown at the time. It's an hour and a half drive, and it took a lot longer. They actually closed the interstate down, but I got on the interstate in time.
And what city was that at? What city did he play?
This is Milwaukee.
This is Milwaukee.
Yeah, so my hometown, I grew up in a town called Manitowoc, Wisconsin, which is an hour and a half north of Milwaukee.
Okay. And this time, this was on the first leg of the tour, I would think.
Yeah. This was 2 nights after he bit the head of a bat off in Iowa. So it was coming in hot. It was
let us pause right there, and we'll go through the list, and we'll come back to this as we're going through it, all right?
Yeah.
All right, so here's the list. Again, we're going to go from, and again, when we say the worst, we don't really mean the worst.
Right.
We just mean less than.
Yeah.
So greatness, but a little less than greatness. So everything's great. It's just a question of some are a little greater than others, right?
Yeah. You got to put some song somewhere.
There's got to be a number. We got a number. It's got to be like that, right? Believer. Yeah. Now, it's not like I don't like this song. I just find that it always seemed to me as a sort of slow-paced, sort of a filler track. Like they kind of just came up with it.
Yeah, I agree. But Ozzy played it through his set list quite a bit.
That's right.
And it's like, I don't really understand why, because it's not a up, tempo thing for a live setting. But what was really interesting about that too, seeing it live, because I didn't know who Rudy Sarzo was at the time, but he was a really unique player, very, he had a lot of persona while playing.
He liked to lick his bass.
Well, that was before he licked basses, I guess. He was very flamboyant, but in a very aggressive style. Yeah. And me and my friends were like, who is this guy? He's really, really entertaining. He's really good. That band was awesome, those 4 guys. And also Don Airey played keys. I don't know if I don't remember. I don't think he had a prominent place on stage, even on the Diary of a Madman tour. I think he was up in the wings somewhere. They had him up
That's
high.
what it was. Any hard rock heavy metal band usually put their keyboardist away from any sort of prominent position, because it wasn't cool to be a hard rock band with a keyboardist.
You could hear it clearly in the music, and Don Airey was already a name guy in England over there for certain. You know, I knew who he was, but I didn't see him.
Well, I mean, to the track, I mean, it is a very bass-driven song. So, even though Bob Daisley, he did write it, or he did write that bass line, Rudy performed it, right? And that's probably why, maybe because Bob, it's a bass-driven sort of track.
Yeah, but he wasn't on the recording though.
Bob was on the recording.
Bob was on the recording of it. Dire. Yes.
Yep. And Rudy performed it on in the U.S. soil.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I think the sequence is like this: they record Blizzard of Oz. They go on a short UK tour.
Mm-hmm.
About 10 months later, they record Diary of a Madman, and then they go on a U.S. tour. Wait a second, no. Then they go on a U.S. tour to support Blizzard, and then they go back to support Diary of a Madman.
Yeah, because technically, when I saw them the second time in Green Bay, Diary had not been released yet.
That's right.
So it was still part of the Blizzard of Oz tour, I would imagine, technically speaking.
Even though it wasn't crushing the charts in the UK, the albums were flying off the shelves in North America. Yeah, for Blizzard, that was right.
Yeah, I remember hearing, like I Don't Know on the radio pretty quickly after it was available.
Strange enough, if you look at the tribute album with Randy Rhoads, if you look at all the live performances with Randy Rhoads that are on, some other albums, Believer's always on there.
I know. They're just like, okay.
I didn't see them with Randy, so I would not have chosen that track, but maybe there's sort of these guitar inflections that he has throughout the song.
Yeah.
Maybe it just kind of brings it to a more of a mid-pace.
Yeah.
Look, somebody made the decision. I don't know who did. I wouldn't have done it, but whatever.
Me neither. But that first tour, he needed to fill time with.
Yes.
He had to play practically the whole album, and then 3-4 Sabbath tunes.
Yeah. It's a catchy, really catchy tune. It's a Steal Away the Night.
Yeah.
Again, off of Blizzard of Oz. Nothing wrong with the song. It's a cute little, chorus, verse, chorus, guitar solo, chorus type of track. It's a great track to close the evening with. They even performed this song on Bark at the Moon tour. Now, I don't remember if did they do this on Blizzard? I don't remember.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Up-tempo.
Ozzy really kept a very strict sort of song structure. Like he didn't change much.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I like the song. Up-tempo. The very beginning, it's got a really great riff in it. So it's really catchy. I like the song. I'd have it higher.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair enough. I mean, again, I see nothing wrong with the song. I just think there are bigger songs later on. Yeah. No Bone Movies, which was a sort of a wink for no porno movies. Yeah, that's kind of the lingo that they used. Yeah. And actually, when I spoke to Kelly Garney, who was best friends with Randy Rhoads, I think he mentioned this to me. He said this is the kind of talk that they had, like the secret code talk, him and Randy. And I think No Bone Movies was sort of that lingo that he passed on to the guys in the Ozzy Osbourne band.
Yeah. That's a decent song. Nothing wrong with it.
This was the song. So on Blizzard of Oz, Lee Kerslake comes and he goes, well, I'd like to be included onto this album. And to feel like a band, they go, okay, let's write a song with Lee on it, and we'll include that on Blizzard of Oz, because he had no writing credits other than No Bone Movies. So that was a song. To me, it's very similar to Steal Away.
Yeah.
A bit humorous, too.
Yeah, we knew what the reference was.
Yeah. I mean, very anthemic in a sense, right? Everybody's cheering along and singing No Bone Movies. A good song. I mean, I wouldn't put it as the best of the catalog, but I won't. If it's playing on the record, right? I'm not going to stop the record right there or skip a track.
Oh yeah, I played it for certain. Yep.
Then I'll go into. Would you put that higher or lower on your list?
Mine would be higher. Top 10.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah.
Little Dolls.
Drum
For
intro.
me, a drum intro. Lee Kerslake, a guy that we both love, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Big Lee fan. The Bear.
The Bear. Not many bands use their drummers, have that sort of like opening riff.
Yeah.
Like that opening sort of drum pattern is,
Yep.
that's what Little Dolls is, right?
Right. Yeah. That's how I remember it mostly.
Yeah. I consider this like a deep track, very whiny Ozzy.
Yeah.
His fragile, whiny voice, but it gives it that creepy little tone that he has.
Yeah.
Pins and needles,
Yeah.
prick the skins of little dolls, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you remember the midsection, Tom, it starts whining a lot there at that point, and it really has this great buildup.
Wasn't that the opening track on side 2 of the album? The vinyl? I think it was.
It was. Yeah. You are correct. There was Believer, the end track of side 1, side 1, and then the inch. I don't know if I would put it there.
Although I like drums, so I like that to start that side of the record off.
You know what's interesting about Randy Rhoads on this song? He's playing more of a alternative rock lead versus his sort of traditional, sort of flashy guitar lead.
Yeah.
He's just using more sounds and just bending strings and getting these sort of weird Nirvana-like solos that really don't go anywhere, but still work within the context of the song.
Mm-hmm. I like the song very much.
Me too. Yeah, I like the song a lot. It's a great little track, and I think it's a deep cut. And if I remember correctly, I read an interview with Randy Rhoads. He said this was one of the songs that kind of like just rushed to make, a fill. I hate to call it a filler. Yeah. But it was. Even though I put that at number 1, I think it's a beautiful piece of music.
Yeah.
It's not a song, right?
Right.
So
I like it. Fine work, but I never really listened to it. Yeah. I mean, I did, but I just fly over country. I just went right over it.
Yeah. Well, to me,
I can appreciate it. I like it, but yeah.
Is it even a minute long?
I don't think so. Is it?
It's a beautiful little classical.
It's been so long since I've listened to
it. Dee named after Dolores, Randy Rhoads' mother.
Mm-hmm.
And from all the interviews that I've done, the essence or where it comes from his guitar solos that he used to do in his Quiet Riot days. He used to just break off into guitar solos on stage, and just a little bit of that he put into an acoustic little piece, and then he called it Dee as a nod to his mom.
Yeah, nice that they put it on the album.
And he had to actually fight Ozzy hard for that too. Or, they had to, he didn't have to fight Ozzy for it.
Right.
He had to fight the record.
You know who.
You ready for this? Unless you have more to add about Dee.
Oh, we're good.
You looking at me, looking at you.
For that track, for not being actually on the official albums, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I like think so it. Too.
Yeah.
Me too. It's got a funky little title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
You looking at me, looking at you.
I think that could be better than a couple of tracks that made the albums.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think it was either this one or the other one where they were going to replace it with No Bone Movies. Now,
okay, yeah, right.
Right? Because they did 2 songs that didn't make the album. So one was You Looking at Me, Looking at You. I always liked the song. I always like you. I wondered, why isn't this on the album?
Yeah.
It's catchy. It's got a cute little title.
Play on words there, yeah.
Play on words. And man, listen to that solo.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to that. Like, he just knows how to pick the right notes.
Yeah.
He's so clean and
so good.
Yeah, so good.
Yep.
Would you put You Looking at Me, Looking at You higher or lower?
I had it at 15, so right in the neighborhood.
Okay.
There.
Yeah. All right.
And it's not because I don't like the song. It's just,
just
where it fell.
You Said It All. Again, this is the second B-side.
Yeah, I really like that song. I bought that. DVD. It was a picture disc. Yeah. It was blue. And the other side had a live, I can't remember what
Mr.
live
Crowley.
song. What was it? Oh,
Mr.
right.
Crowley.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yep.
Excuse me. Yeah, and I really like, You Said It All. I really like that song. Where did I put it? I put it at 7.
Mine is at 11, but you had a little higher up. That's what you want to say.
I really like that song.
Another brilliant solo, a nice little midsection. It goes from a fast pace to sort of like a mid tempo there. Brilliant.
Yeah.
You know,
all
again,
good.
That should have been on the album.
Yeah.
Been on the album.
I wish it would have been, but
all right. This is I don't know if you're going to agree with me on this or not, but Goodbye to Romance.
I do. I have that at 12. It stays with you, that the melody, and it's just a very catchy, memorable type of a song. You can sing the chorus in your brain over and over and over again, and it hasn't become tiresome.
I love the keyboard solo right at the end, and it starts fading. Talk about placing a keyboard solo in the perfect place. It wouldn't have worked in the middle.
Right. Yeah.
But right at the end, it's beautiful.
I do like that.
Yeah. And from my understanding, it's a farewell to Black Sabbath, you know, Goodbye to Romance that we had. And again, Bob Daisley wrote the lyrics, but based on Ozzy's life, right?
Right.
Anyways, I think it's a nice little slow song. And, you know, it's quirky. It's quirky, and that's what makes it so brilliant. And Ozzy's got that voice that sort of transcends into the masses. It's an easy listening voice.
Very recognizable. You can drive down the street with your windows down playing an Ozzy song or a Sabbath song, and normal, regular, non-metal people know who that is.
Yeah. And he also appeals to men and women, where there's some vocalists, I'll play a song to my wife and she goes, oh, he's yelling too much. But Ozzy sort of transcends. You could put him on AM, FM, underground, right? Pop, and he just transcends that voice. That's what makes him so brilliant, or made him so brilliant. Tonight, I find it's a little more mature Goodbye to Romance.
Yeah, it's a rolling song, man. Just rolls along.
That's a good way to put it. A beautiful ballad.
Yeah.
A beautiful bass line if you listen to that. And that solo, the guitar solo now is at the end.
Yeah. It just the tone of that guitar that he had on both of those albums.
Yeah.
Was very standout. It was just really good. It's really good. And to this day, you can play those records and they still sound so good.
When you saw Ozzy for the first time on Blizzard, did you know all the songs?
Yes. Yeah.
Did he break out into a solo?
Oh yeah. Yep. He was, I think he had his black with white polka dot flying V guitar already in place and in use. So yeah, I just thought when I first saw him, like, he's really small. He's a small guy. But I was close enough to see him, and he smiled a lot when he played, is what I had noticed. He smiled a lot, and not like a permanent smile, but he would smile at certain times. When I had, this wasn't the first time I saw him, but for the Diary of a Madman tour, I had fourth row middle seats, and it was in an auditorium. And he was playing a lead part, and I don't recall what song, but I just happened, he looked and he must have seen me. It just, because he wasn't looking for me or anything like that. Yeah. It just happened to glance at me, and I was really enjoying the lead that he was playing, and he gives me a thumbs up. That was really cool. It was really nice. Man. It was me, but it was just kind of cool because I noticed him. He seemed to really be enjoying playing, and it came through that way, and he was really having a good time up there. It was awesome.
He loved playing, right? He loved playing. Of course, he was in his early 20s, and most guitarists love it at that age, right?
Yeah, right.
But he loved the guitar.
You could tell. Yeah. This was not a forced thing at all. It's not like, well, I'm playing with Ozzy Osbourne. No, he was really getting into it very much so. I noticed that immediately.
What else did you notice about Ozzy? Was he hitting bum notes? Was he singing well? What was it like?
I thought he did pretty good for what his voice, is. He's
Mhm.
never been a great super technical singer,
Yeah.
but he carried it off,
Yeah.
and then I think especially the first time he had something to prove, he had to go out and perform.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I said, once I saw him on the Diary tour, then things were starting to go kind of,
Mhm.
he was doing some fun stuff, I guess.
Did he?
You
I mean,
notice a little
I
bit.
guess what I'm getting at, like, did you think, wow, man, he really performed well, or it's like,
Yeah. Oh, great entertainer, great front man.
yeah,
Also remember, like those first two times, really, he hadn't really performed a lot. He was getting
yeah,
back into the swing of things. So his voice was quite rusted, you could say. You could tell though, because he had more and more gigs under his belt on the Diary tour where it would crack a little bit, but not bad. Not bad.
Look, I've seen Ozzy, and his voice cracks,
Mm-hmm.
but he makes up for it in sheer entertainment
Oh
and
my
passion,
goodness.
right?
Demanding of the audience, and the audience has always responded to him, encouraging them and firing them up. He could command a large audience, and
Yeah.
everybody seemed to respond quite famously to that. That's one thing that he could control a crowd very well. He knew
Oh
what to
yeah,
do, knew what to say.
so iconic. You can't kill rock and roll.
Oh man, I love that song.
Where'd you put it?
I have that at 2. Yeah.
I'll tell you
I just
why.
think it's so.
Go no, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I just think it's a meaningful song to people. They carry that with it. You can't kill rock and roll. It's here to stay. Just the title of that alone is gonna hook some people. But I think it's the acoustic guitar work in that is just fantastic. It just layers in so well, and it really complements the song. And that's one of my favorite, almost my very favorite Oz song from his solo work. Randy just really, man, just sounds so great on that whole album.
When I was a kid, I had a Walkman. I had the tape, and I put it on, and you could hear the two guitars. Like, he used to double his guitar a lot, his solos. And if you put it on today, you could actually hear the doubling of his solos, and it's just a little off, where you can actually hear the second guitar. Sometimes they play exact, but this is just a little off, and it's beautiful, man.
Yep.
His solo, the production, the solo, the acoustic bit, the
Yeah.
singing, where I would give it, where I would knock off like a half a point on this is, I think the title, "You Can't Kill Rock and Roll," maybe for a teenager, it's sort of, yeah, you can't kill. But as you get older, you're going, it's kind of cliche, maybe.
Just, I mean, because now as we go through the age of heavy metal music, if you're going to put rock, you don't refer to it as rock and roll.
Well, maybe that's it too.
Metal
right?
bands will use the word metal. Heavy metal thunder.
I always thought they should have named the song something else, and it would have been a little more, I don't know, mature. Maybe, is that the right word? I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, but I was a senior in high school in '81, so it appealed to me. I think that was his main demographic that he was trying to get to.
Well, yeah, no, he appealed to me too. Like, I was a little teenager, right?
Yeah, because there were older fans than I was from the Sabbath days.
Yeah.
So he carried those with him, but he is also about getting a new audience. And I think that, it's cliche. And it's cliche, but it worked.
Look, you can't kill rock and roll. It's here to stay. Like, when you're a young teenager, you're going, yeah, rock and roll. But now it's kind of like, maybe because we're older and it has stayed, and it probably will never go away. It's kind of becomes, but I still love the song. We're just, being nitpicky. It's really so brilliantly executed. It's just not even, it's just, wow.
Just from the very beginning of it.
Yeah.
Really great.
I mean, that's where Randy really shines, on that neoclassical bit,
right?
Where he takes rock and roll and classical music and meshes them together,
mixes it in there. Yep, really good.
You won't hear that on a Van Halen album. You just maybe here and there, but you really won't hear that neoclassical influence.
That's great stuff.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Sato. Where would you put it?
Ooh, I had it at 14.
It's, you know what? Half. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It never really clicked to me all that great.
Here's the funniest part about this song. It's the title.
Yeah.
Forever, people have called it, what does this acronym stand for, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So Bob Daisley writes the song, and originally it was called Sail Across the Ocean. Or Strange Voyage. Sorry, Strange Voyage. When they get rid of him, they change the name of the song, right? Yeah. To Sato. And he claims, and I guess he could be right or wrong, I don't know. He claims it means Sharon Arden, Adrian, Thelma Osbourne, and Ozzy Osbourne. So it's sort of like the couples at the time, right? Then there's other people who say, or at least the Osbourne saying it's called Sail Across the Ocean as the acronym. Mm-hmm. So whatever. Who, like, do you believe the Osbournes? Do you believe Bob?
Yeah, like, right.
Bob wasn't there, right? So how, even though I do believe him, right? Yeah. But he wasn't there. So you don't really trust the Osbournes. So whatever.
Putting those periods after each letter increase the speculation of what is this? Is this some kind of a devil thing too? You heard that going on back then too.
First time I heard the song, you could put in the category of Rush. You could put in the category of more complex Judas Priest in a way, right? Yeah. This is like a progressive multi arrangement song.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think it's one of my favorite songs. And you was a little lower, but it's okay.
Yeah. That's like,
just a little hair.
Right. Yeah. It's all good.
Suicide Solution. Where'd you put it?
Just one spot above at 13. I just, the whole thing that happened with that song and the kid that died or what have you, that really put a different reception on the song. I liked it a lot, but I get these memories of that aspect of it, and it shouldn't affect it, but it kind of did for me a little bit. So I stopped listening to it as much.
Yeah, no, I could see how that happens. I mean, the funny thing is Ozzy was always claiming that it was about Bon Scott when actually it wasn't. It was actually about him and the way he sort of goes about his ways, right?
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, man, first time I heard Suicide Solution, I was like so taken back by the solos.
Uh-huh.
You had Eddie Van Halen on one side, but then you had Randy Rhoads. He was just taking it to another level. And Ozzy's conviction when he sings it, it's just, it just left such an imprint on my young little mind.
Yep.
All right.
Became notorious too.
Flying High Again. Now, this was released as a single off the Diary of a Madman, and it shot up the charts.
Mm-hmm.
So where'd you put it, Flying High?
I've got it at 4.
Ooh.
4. Yeah. He played that early. He played it live before he played it. He played it live before the album came out.
Yes. Yeah. The vocal melody was written by Lee Kerslake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of a nugget.
Good drumming in there. There's a couple good drum fills.
You know what's interesting about the song, and you could put it on right after, and you'll probably you don't remember this, but you'll remember this when I tell you this. The song is going. There's a verse and there's a chorus, and then there's a guitar solo, and then there's the chorus, and you think the song's gonna end.
Yeah.
Because it's going flying high again, again. It sort of feels like an ending to a song, but then it goes back to the verse.
Come on.
Oh no,
yeah.
Oh no.
Right.
Put it on right after. You're going to see like, oh, it's true. It seems like it's ending, but it doesn't end. It's like 6 minutes and something seconds. It's a pretty long song.
It is.
But I would agree. To me, this is like, it's got everything. It has everything.
Its soul is just outrageous.
Iconic.
Really good.
Iconic solo.
And didn't Bob Daisley say that's his favorite solo that Randy ever did in a song? I thought he said something like that at one time.
He could have, but you know what? I think in Guitar Player magazine, Randy Rhoads said that is one of his favorite songs and one of his favorite solos too.
Cool. That's right. All right.
So There's very few interviews with Randy Rhoads.
Yeah.
Mr. Crowley, where'd you put it?
3.
3? Ooh. Why'd you put it 3?
Because I love the keyboard. And when they played it live, when I saw them play it live, that keyboard they had an extra, how should I say, there was like another verse to it. So it was not just the intro that you hear on the record, on the album, the studio album, but it was longer, more bars, music bars, more bars, and which I liked because I like that kind of keyboard action. I like the sound of that. And and plus, Mr. Crowley, that's the title of the song. I didn't know what in the world it was about. I don't think anybody did at the time, but it's just a memorable, Mr. Crowley. It's a very unique name for a song, and it stays, for me, it just stayed with me forever.
I think that's the first time I ever understood that there was a guy named Aleister Crowley, and that's who they were singing about.
Okay.
So I'm like 14 at this time, right? So Mr. Crowley, who's Mr. Crowley?
Right.
And the 2 or 3 solos that he does on that song is just, I think that's what made Randy Rhoads Randy Rhoads.
The fingers are flying.
And you know what? The precision of the note playing, the tone of every single note he plays, and the choice of notes that he's playing. And not to say that intro, and then you put that intro for the keyboard, the haunting organ. Yeah. I always tell my friends, like, it reminds me of Johnny Blade, because you know why it reminds me of Johnny Blade? Because Johnny Blade also has a keyboard intro, right? And it's not just a few chords and that's it. It's more of a keyboard intro. Yeah. And Mr. Crowley had kind of like the same sort of thingy. Yep. People say, "No, you're crazy, man. It's not the same thing." It's not the same thing, but it's the same sort of structure. Right.
You'll know right away it's that song, right from the very beginning.
Brilliant. Mr. Crowley, there's, from, like you said, from the lyrics to the creepy lyrics to the character. Yeah. And you're a young kid back then, and you didn't know who Mr. Crowley was. It just conjures images, right?
That's interesting.
Crazy Train.
Yeah. I have that at 9. I think it's just because of the years that have gone by, and the burn rate is pretty fast on it. Yeah. For me anyway. I love the song. I it's a great, unique intro. Yeah. With the percussion stuff they use for that. So it's nothing against the song. It's just, this is 2025. And we've all heard it 497,000 times at sporting events.
I try remembering the first time I heard it on late night radio, and you hear the bum 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 bum. Yeah. I that part alone, and what you mentioned before, that is back then, that is the thing that struck us the most.
Right. Yep.
That's what put it in a different category of, like, I got to listen to the rest of this song.
Yeah. And that part of that song has been in TV commercials. Car commercials. You go to a sporting event in the United States anyway, they'll play it at NFL football games, you're hearing that. That's unbelievable,
And it gave me that same sort of feeling, like when he screams, "All aboard."
Yeah,
it's the same thing as "I am Iron Man."
Yeah.
It has that same sort of, I'm going to yell out the intro on this song. Yep. But take away the intro, that cool little intro with the I. The rest of the song, man, it's friggin' a tight song, man. Yeah. It's a friggin' good. Ozzy's up there in the register. It's melodic. It's catchy. The guitar solo is the most memorable guitar solo he has. And it's probably one of the most well-known songs of Ozzy Osbourne, next to the ballads and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Everybody knows Crazy Train.
Right. Everybody. You could, the full gamut, from young to adult to non-metal people to pop people.
I'll tell you this. When I was a kid and I was trying to learn how to play guitar, I bought the music sheets for Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman at the time. And I couldn't do that, but But with the music sheets, they also had the lyrics,
Yeah.
which I didn't have because I think I had the cassette. And when you listen and you read the words, you go, Bob Daisley, man, this guy's a great lyricist. At first, I thought it was Ozzy who was doing it.
Yeah, right,
I didn't know,
yeah.
right? I didn't know.
Yeah.
Ozzy kept saying he was writing the lyrics.
Yeah.
But man, I go, man, this is a deep song. And even all the rest of the stuff, they're all really well written lyrics. So
yep, very much so.
The whole thing is great.
Yeah.
All right. Where'd you put Crazy Train? You put it at 8, you said, right?
I had it at 9.
Oh, 9. Okay.
Yeah. But
Here we go. Over the Mountain. Again, Lee Kerslake coming in with the drum riff, we'll call it.
One of my favorite drum intros. That's my favorite Ozzy solo song. I just Over the Mountain. It was right from the get-go too.
Quadruplets.
Yep.
Lee Kerslake, there's not many drummers who, after, again, I could tell you the first time I heard this, I go, what is this, Rush? Like, right? What is this, Led Zeppelin? Right? Yeah. That's the level it's at, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's not only the intro drum pattern, it's throughout the whole song.
Yeah. Yeah. It carries through all the way through. And the riff, do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do. It ends on that too.
Amazing. Yeah. This is about astral traveling, right?
Yeah.
Now, here's a cool story. I don't know if you heard this or not. Maybe you've seen all the interviews. So here you go. You have Frankie Banali here, okay? And you have Lee Kerslake here. Frankie Banali claims he wrote.
I did hear that.
So, and I'll tell you about the premise. It's interesting. It's a very interesting premise. He jammed with Randy and Ozzy 1 week before they all left, or Ozzy left back to the UK. Now, I don't know if Ozzy was there or not, but he jammed with the band. Like, he jammed with Randy and whoever else was in the band at the time. They were sort of playing around riffs. And he claims that in that week, they're kind of loosely working on music that would appear later on, as songs. Okay. So now you think maybe Randy remembered that sort of little intro that he did. He brought it with him to England to start recording, the first songs. And he had a leftover riff or drum pattern that he thought of when he wrote Over the Mountain, which is a year after that. I don't know. I don't know if there's any truth to it. Maybe. Lee Kerslake says he's a liar.
Well, it's not really. Frankly, it's not an unknown drum pattern that's been around for a while.
Yeah.
You take a look at, there's been other drummers that have done that. Maybe not necessarily right as an intro, but if you listen to Cozy Powell's intro on Stargazer, he's using a little bit of that. It's 1976. To fit it into that song is the unique part about it. It's not an uncommon drum, groove / pattern.
Yeah.
But to place it there is great.
That's right.
Love it.
What are the odds that something they wrote in 1979 appeared on an album in 1982?
Yeah, right.
That is similar to what many drummers would do.
Yeah, it is, no doubt. But the placement of it right from the start.
Yeah.
And that's why it's my favorite Oz song, because I just love that. I could never get tired of that song. Never.
That song, like the first time I heard it, I go, what a band. This was like, it wasn't a solo artist. It was a band effort.
Yes.
You're talking about, listen to the bass, the bass runs on that song. Listen to the drumming, listen to the vocal melodies. It's just a complete, perfect song. And Randy's solo again, right? It's just crazy.
Creepy sounding at some points too. It's just like haunting guitar.
There was nothing like it. You know what it was? It was like fluff or soft mixed in with heavy and progressive at the same time. It was just nothing like it. Nothing like it. There never will be anything like it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Revelations, Mother Earth.
Yeah. Where do I have that? That one, I have it at 11.
Yeah.
And it's not because I dislike the song. It's pretty good.
No.
A little more progressive action going on there too.
Hats off to Don Airy on this one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It definitely very inspired by neoclassical music, right? Or we'll call it neoclassical style. Don Airy, the piano keyboard solo in the midsection. And right when you think the song's going to continue going sort of mid-paced, it just picks up right at the end.
Right.
Very traditional Black Sabbath in a sense. But his solo at the end is like, what is he doing?
Oh, it's great stuff. Really good. Well done.
Yeah, and you know what? That is also from Guitar Player Magazine. Randy Rhoads pointed that one out as one of his favorite songs.
All right, cool.
It's just it's about the earth and how we take care of the earth, and it's a message that has been with us for a very long time. And it's still relevant today. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Right? Yep. Very well done song.
All right, number 2 for me is I Don't Know.
That's probably my favorite Randy lead solo part in a song. That's memorable for me. Chris Impelliteri's last album, he's got a song on there where he is using a very similar lead to that. I can't remember what song it is. It's one of the earlier songs on that CD. Very reminiscent of that lead solo. And that is my favorite Randy lead. I really like that song.
Yeah, he was after, I think they left a message on his answering machine saying, would you like to audition for Ozzy Osbourne at one point?
Yeah.
That's Chris Impellitteri.
Right. He's phenomenal. Oh, man.
He would have been perfect for the band back then, right?
Yeah.
You know what I love about I Don't Know? The gong.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Where after he finishes the solo, right when you couldn't get any higher as a dynamic in a song, the gong just comes in. Like he's not hitting it it's perfectly timed, perfectly done, where it just brings the song to this this epic sort of dynamic.
I do. I really like that part of it too. Yeah, that's really cool.
And the lyrics.
Bang a gong.
Go, even though the I Don't Know is very sort of straightforward,
right?
But listen, read the lyrics on the verses. It's very well written.
How many times have you said in your lifetime, I don't know?
Yeah. It's true.
A million?
Yeah. And I remember, I think it was Crazy Chain is the first song I heard, but the second song was I Don't Know, and I go, I can't believe this band. This isn't Black Sabbath anymore. This is an Ozzy with Black Sabbath.
Right.
So Dio is another thing, but this is an Ozzy with Sabbath, and this is like a friggin' a tank, in terms of music.
Yeah, it's faster,
technical. It's proggy, it's melodic, it's got everything.
Right.
Everybody is contributing from the band, right?
Yep. Yeah.
All right, here's my number 1.
Okay.
But here's the song. Did you ever hear it play live? Diary of a Madman.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Did they play it?
Mm-hmm.
They did? On which tour?
Matter of
First, second, or
fact,
third?
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
The intro to that song was how he started the concert jumping into Over the Mountain. When I saw him.
No way. I think you're confusing with Carmina, whatever, Orff or whatever. Barima.
No.
Oh, it could have been. Okay.
It was.
Sure, I wasn't there. Yeah.
That acoustic.
Oh, that dun 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 dun.
That was it was recorded, right off the album. They opened on the Diary Madman tour. They opened with Over the Mountain, but they placed that record, taken right off the album, the intro to Diary of a Man. That was how they started his show.
Oh yeah.
And I remember Tommy Aldridge had these wide steps walking up to the drum riser.
Mm-hmm.
And on each side of him, he had a hangman. And all they did was sit there like this. They stood there the whole concert, just like this. Hoods on each side of
And the little guy went around. The little guy, he called Ronnie.
He came on later. But yeah, and that's how that concert started up. I don't know if he did that the whole tour, but I kind of think he might have.
You know what? Now that you're saying it was Carmina Burana, whatever it's called, that was on the Blizzard of Oz tour. That's how they opened that.
Yeah.
But they
Yeah,
didn't have
oddly not. I can't. No, I don't remember.
by
That's
Carl
weird.
Orff. Carl Orff is
Okay.
the composer.
Yeah, all right.
I just trying to remember the name, but
Carmina, it was theatrical, singing and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was Diary.
But they didn't play Diary of a Madman the whole song.
Yeah, they did.
They did?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, that was cool. Later in the show, later in the set. But yeah, on the Diary of a Madman, that was when I saw him. He was at the height of pandemonium. He was just. It was just. It was on the evening news that Ozzy Osbourne's in town. Yeah. Literally on the news. It was a big deal that he was coming to town. A big deal.
Was it before or after he peed on the Alamo? Probably before.
Might have been after. No, I don't know. It was 2 nights after the bat thing. I know that.
So yeah.
Because we were hearing, well, I don't know. He might have, rabies. He might have to sit out a couple, because I don't believe there was a stop in between. I think they had the Iowa show, a day off, and then Milwaukee. So he had a day to go to the hospital and get shots, I suppose.
I remember that. 20 shots in the stomach. Oh my God.
I didn't even, what's true. Who knows? Maybe the people at the hospital know, and they're the only ones who know, but we had heard, because no internet back then. Yeah. We heard it. The word got out, and it was on the news. So the notoriety of everything. That's one reason why he made the news, because he apparently bit a bat. Whatever. Yeah. But yeah, that was unbelievable. I was not going to miss that show for anything, man.
I was probably on Blizzard. I was probably around 13. Diary, I was about 14. A little hard to go to concerts at that age. Right, I didn't have an older brother. I had an older sister, so she brought me to Loverboy. But I mean, my parents aren't going to let me go see Ozzy Osbourne at 13, even though I knew he was in town. And actually, when I was going to go, because I wanted to see Randy Rhoads, that's when he tragically died, and they had to postpone the date in Montreal.
Yeah, because that accident happened
March,
not quite 2 months after I saw him.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, that's another episode, another podcast episode. Diary of a Madman. You got the choirs, and you're talking about real choirs here. The strings. You're talking about real strings here.
Yeah.
The intro is sort of lifted off of this piece called Etude by this composer. Just like, how's it go? Dun, 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 dun. It's that little melody is kind of like taken from some sort of classical composer, but he never hid the fact that he did that. It just inspired the Diary of a Madman.
Sounds really good, though. Really sounds good.
Yeah. And then the guitars come in and the choirs at the end. Ozzy's, you know what? When you get Ozzy can really sing, because he can take the lyrics from someone else and make it his own. And you think he's the one.
Yeah, Tony Iommi always has said, okay, maybe he didn't write the lyrics, but he had a big hand in the melodies of all those songs. Yeah. Big hand. He had a knack for that.
Yeah.
Did. Yeah.
Tom, at the end of the day, you could walk into a record store and you could go to them. I don't remember the words, but the melody goes like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how powerful a melody is.
Right.
And that's how important a melody is, because when you can't name the melody of a song, chances are it's not a good song.
Right. Yeah. Right? It stays with you.
Even YYZ has a melody. Yeah.
A lot of people don't know the name of that song, but they know how it goes. It's that song.
Yeah. Where'd you put Diary of a Madman?
I have that at 5.
Oh, okay.
Because I really just love the vibe it gives off. It's another haunting type.
Yeah.
Even Ozzy, when he's at the end, it's like he's struggling through something.
Oh no, that's the beauty of his voice. It's that sort of innocent, fragile, painful at the same time.
I know.
Yeah. And it's that whine. It's that whine, but that sad whine.
Yep.
That's the beauty of his voice.
Yep.
All right. So any other memories? So that's our list. But what memories do you have from the shows that you want to share?
Yeah. Well, first of all, those were two pretty darn good opening bands to see with him.
Yeah.
Leopard, Alpha High and Dry. The third time there was a band called Starfighters.
Where are they now?
Yeah, but I really liked them, and I had their album.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more middle of the road, hard rock, really, not a really super metal, but I just remember the great opening bands. The first thing I remember the Green Bay sign because I I had
Green
the perfect
Bay!
angle on it. Randy, just being up close, pretty close on two of
Getting
those
the thumbs
shows.
up. Getting the thumbs
Yeah,
up.
that was cool. But just really watching him play,
Yeah.
seeing him, we didn't know really much about him at the time. By the third time, yeah, he became a household name. But those first two times, because we didn't know any of those guys. Well, Tommy Aldridge, I knew, but those four members, and then if you want to include Don Airy,
Yeah.
that was a great band. That was a great band.
Yeah,
They were a band I didn't consider just an Ozzy band. I consider them that was a full tight unit. They were great. They were really
it
great.
Makes a difference. It makes a difference when you have a great band backing you.
And those four main guys, they carried that as a band. It was not just three side guys.
Randy Rhoads, what he could have been, we'll never know, but we do know that, he just a little piece of Randy Rhoads, he made musical history.
Yeah. And I feel very lucky to have been able to see it a few times. Man. People go, you really did know you saw them. Yeah. Because I'm old. I was old enough to watch them.
I didn't see him, but I bought the albums when they came out. And I can say, and that's probably one of my first real rock and roll tragedies.
Yeah.
Listen, I remember Elvis when he died. It was all over the news. I remember when John Lennon died. It was all over the news, but it wasn't part of my world.
Yeah, for us, when Bon Scott died.
Yeah.
Because they were beginning to get some pretty good traction there in 1980, I think was the year that he died. So we were quite, me and my friends, my circle, we were quite well aware of Bon Scott because Highway to Hell, many people thought it could be their first album. And of course it's not. But we started to know a lot of the AC/DC stuff. So that was a big thing. That was a real big deal. It's like, oh my God, right when they're getting going here. Oh no.
Yeah, you know what? I remember when Bon Scott died, the band wasn't that big in Canada to begin with. So it wasn't that much and I wasn't too invested into Bon Scott at the time.
Yeah.
But so Randy Rhoads, I was more invested in the music.
I understand that, sure.
Yeah. I'm not saying you weren't, but I'm just saying I wasn't. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
All right. On that note, all right, Milwaukee Tom, thank you for jumping on. Going back and remembering Randy Rhoads, the Ozzy Osbourne era. One of the greatest metal albums ever made.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Great stuff. Good memories, and they still go with us. We all still play these albums to this day. Yeah.
It's the bar. It's the bar, my friend. It's the bar where we measure everything else with.